The BSF star of the farming, and the presentation is submitted to Dr. Mazhar Ayaz, Department Parasitology, Cholistan University of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Bahawalpur. Presenter is Sana Iqbal. Here are the contents. So, what is insect farming? Insect farming is a practice of raising and breeding insects as a livestock. Insects may be farmed for the commodities they produce or for the insects itself, as you can see in the picture. The next is the percentage of edible insects by different orders. Here you can see the different coloration which are representing that the different orders have the different edible percentages. What is BSF? Before we getting to the BSF farming, we just want to know that what is BSF. BSF is a common and widespread fly. Since the late 20th century, BSF has increasingly been gaining attention because of its usefulness for cyclic organic waste and generating animal food. What about its distribution? BSF is native to neotropical realm, but in a recent decades has spread across all the continents, becoming virtually cosmopolitan. So here is the biological hierarchy of BSF. On the right side you can see the BSF image, or the image of Haemertia elucens, and the left side you can see the higher classification. Haemertia, a rank species, scientific name Haemertia elucens, domain Eukaryota, family Stretchiomidae, kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda, order Diptera. Here you can see the sex identification of BSF. On the right side you can see the difference in genital or genitalia of male and female, but on the left side you can see the sizes differences between male and female BSF. Here are the bionomics of BSF. So first one is a feed. A BSF feeds voraciously on decaying organic waste. The decaying order of the rotting food and the manure attracts the adult fly for oviposition. Egg hatching. So adult fly lay creamy white egg in the cracks and the crevices in vivo, but in vitro provided some coagulated cardboards. Instar larvae, once fully matured, the final instar larvae crawl out and look for the dry substrate or a soil for pupation. The adult emerges out, feed upon the nectar of the flowers for copulation. At the bottom of the slide, you can see the series of instar larvae. Here is the life cycle of BSF. So the adult BSF lifespan is about 5 to 8 days, and the adult female lays egg number maybe 500 to 900, and the hatching time approximately 4 days. And after that, series of instar larvae formed. So in the larval stage from 1 to till 5 instar, the lifespan about 13 to 18 days, and then pre-pupal stage comes. Lifespan is approximately 7 days, and after that pupal stage comes. Lifespan is about 10 days to a month, and after pupal stage the adult comes out. Here is the basic flow chart of BSF rearing. There's the start. When we start the BSF rearing, so we should remember the following things: the feed preparation, mixing, growing, harvesting. At the time of harvesting, the larval color should be beige, which is light brown in color. Forming and feed of the BSF in tropical and subtropical climates, they might breed year around, but in a temperate regions, a greenhouse may be needed to obtain eggs. So BSF feeds on the dairy products, animal manure, kitchen waste, water, and the liquids. So some key abiotic factors which are usually involved during the rearing of BSF. So the first one is the temperature, light, humidity. The adult mating temperature should be 27 to 37 degrees. And for light purpose, so quartz iodine lamps have been successfully used for adult mating, which is in vitro, but in a vivo morning direct sunlight is optimal for emergence and eggs laying, with the indirect sunlight often preferred before and after copulation. So the humidity is 60 to 70% is optimal for all the stages of their life cycle. Here is a full protocol for forming the BSF. So breeding setup, set up a suitable breeding environment in which temperature and the humidity should be controllable or in a controlled condition, as I said before. So after that, the egg collection, place a suitable substrate such as moist cardboard in a breeding containers to encourage the female to lay their eggs. So because they lay egg on the moist cardboards in a vitro. So egg incubation, separate the BSF eggs from the substrate and transfer it into the container for incubation. Maintain the appropriate temperature, as I said before, 27 to 30s, and the humidity should be 60 to 70%. The next is larval growth. Immediately after hatching, the maggots will begin to feed on the organic matter. Provide a sufficient amount of organic matter here. Ensure the proper ventilation and moisture levels to prevent the molds. So larval harvesting, as a larva after full grown will crawl out of the waste by themselves. Therefore, it can easily be harvested for various purposes such as animal feed and composting. Here is the whole process. This can be done by the physical separation using sieves or other techniques. Maybe a specific amount of 5 days old larvae are transferred from the BSF rearing units to BSF treatment units containing waste. So pupation dark cage, the harvested larvae are transferred to containers with a suitable dark condition for pupation. Provide a suitable substrate for the pupa to attach to such as dry surface or a collection medium. Adult emergence and the mating. The adult BSF will emerge from the pupa, and you can collect the adult flies from the pupa by providing suitable escape routes. So mating and the repeat cycle. So the collected adults are allowed to mate in a cage called the love cage. The process of mass multiplication is a continuous cycle which is repeated to achieve a large population. So here is the step-by-step guideline. On the cardboard, the black soldier fly lay eggs. So after that, incubation periods comes out and the larva. So black soldier fly larvae are transferred into the container with some organic waste. So here is the time for the black soldier fly breeding. So after that, reclaiming, saving. By saving, we obtain basically two products: black soldier fly insect protein, which is used for the animal feed, and the other one is organic fertilizer, which are used in the pastures. So here are some benefits of larvae. BSF larvae act as a detritivore. The larvae and the adults are considered neither pests nor the vectors. They are not attracted to the human habitation or the food, so there is no transmission of any zoonotic disease by BSF. They quickly reduces the volume and weight of the waste. So they quickly reclaim the pollutants. So apart from the protein production, it produces another valuable, resource called the frass, and then the fly larval frass is an excrement that can be used as an organic fertilizer. As a decomposers, BSFO are used to convert the waste into the animal feed. The fly larvae are most efficient at converting biomass into the feed. During pre-pupa stage, they tend to migrate towards the cool, dark, and the dry substrate to pupate. This pre-pupal migration instinct is used to self-harvest the mature larvae. The harvested larvae are the feed of the poultry, fish, pigs, chicken, turtles, and even dogs. They can be stored at the room temperature for several weeks, and their longest shelf life is achieved at 10 to 16 degrees. Most interestingly, in the powdered form, they can be served as a protein source for human food, and they could also be consumed as a whole, maybe fried and salted. BSF larvae can be used to produce grease. The grease is used in the pharmaceutical industries. Chitin production from BSF larvae is also so as well. So dried fat extraction from the BSF prepupa is used as a substrate for biodiesel production. So here are some chemical and nutritional profile of the BSF. So as we know that the waste food is given to the BSF ready. So compost BSF prepupae. So the dried prepupae of the BSF contain the high protein contents, the chitin, micronutrients, and the high fats contents. The nutrients table, the protein content, the crude protein is about 36 to 65%, amino acids 2.3 mg per 10 gram dm. So when we talk about the fat content, the crude fat is about 4.6%, 4.6 to 38.6%, and the fatty acids should be 28.9 to 50.7%. So the next is biodiesel production. So black soldier fly, the BSF larvae, and then organic waste degradation using BSFL. So BSF prepupa, prepupa stage comes out, the dried prepupa, and then chemical extraction takes place here by chemical extraction, fat extraction from BSF prepupa, and for this purpose some esterification and trans-esterification should be. So acid catalyst H2SO4 and some alkaline catalyst NaOH and KH are used to convert into the biodiesel. BSF is a fertilizer, and as you can see in the picture, so the pupa and prepupal stage are used for feed for the animal, and the remnant, the frass is used in the as a fertilizer in the fields or the pastures. So the chitin is also produced from the direct of the fly. Applications. So chitin is used in the textile and cosmetic industries, so in the pharmaceutical industries, food and beverages, and agriculture as a fertilizer. Why we use BSF? So it's make a difference. The larvae feed on the fresh or to the decay plant material. So but on the other hand, the earthworms are the worming compost. The worms consume only decaying plant material, and as the adult lay eggs near the compost pit, so they're thereby keeping the process going indefinitely. But on the other side, the worms have to be introduced to partially decayed material, so they are just underground. So the product can be ready within 20 to 25 days maybe, and the product can ready within 3 to 4 months for the earthworms. So here are some sustainable development goals. So economy enhancement. So it provides economic opportunities. It reduces the deficiency on the feed imports such as animal feed, which we preferably import from the other countries or the foreign or the abroad countries. And the second one is the alternative food by serving as a human food and alternative feed to the animal savior. So due to its high nutritional and nutrition content, so it is good for the health of the human and the animal too. So clear water and the sanitation, it alleviates the waste, so it ensures the sanitation and it needs very less water. So waste, the next is the waste reduction, so can be grown within the cities using very less space and help in the waste reduction, which ultimately leads to the regeneration of the natural system. So using feed, it plays in the role in the feed and the food, so feed industries such as human and animal feed and for livestock too. So climate action, so it reduces the GHG, the greenhouse gases, so mainly methane. So it can be useful for climatic action, to clear the climatic action. So life below the water, so it is able to replace the fish oil and the fish meal, so it reduces the overfishing too. So life on the land, its residues can be used as a soil compost and the amendment. So why is a star? The black soldier fly has gained the recognition as a highly promising insect for forming, thus the earning its reputation as the star of the insect forming. So BSF it's required less land and water for rearing. So it's the product of which gain wave BSF rearing the larvae high nutritious value, and it emits very low GHG emissions. So it is the forming due to the short life cycle. So the future prospects, entomo remediation. So for purification of organic matter which contaminated with heavy metals like lead, cadmium and the mercury are bioaccumulated by the larvae from feed. So forensic entomology, the use of insects in the investigation of homicide and the untimely death to establish time of the death of the decaying body. Biogas, anaerobic breakdown of biodegradable material of BSFL or the frass and the resultant residues generate biogas. Conclusion. So it's a value of the organic waste, because it's forest trading we use the organic matter or organic waste. So it's a very minimal scale forming, because we can form it in very small place. So it's very less attracted towards the human habitation, so low risk of any kind of zoonotic disease. Sustainable and circular, its life cycle is small, so it is very circular and sustainable. Nutritional security for feed and the food both. So it has high content protein, fats and minerals. So so we need it for food and the feed both. So some challenges in the BSF rearing. BSF rearing is a new industry, so currently there are no standard or regulations for BSF rearing globally. As a result, there is a lack of clarity about safety and legality of BSF larvae production, which makes it more challenging for producers. Thank you.